Hi guys, the purpose of this video is just to walk you through the English 231 American Lit 1 syllabus for this semester. I am not going to cover every single detail on this syllabus. I am going to cover the things that I think are the most important, and even then my videos on syllabi are still longer than I want them to be, so I'm just going to get started. Our class is online in the LMS. It's completely asynchronous. I will never ask you to meet online or in person at any specific time. You will work completely on your own pace, not necessarily on your own because I'm going to be here, but you know, it's much more self-paced than a synchronous course, so it's purely asynchronous. 3 credit hours. You need to have taken and passed English 111 in order to be in this class, which you probably can't even be in this class if you haven't done that, so you should be good. Our no-show date is 8/27. That's August 27th. You need to have completed the mandatory course enrollment activity before then. There are things you have to do even before 8/27. So if you're watching this video right now and you haven't done the mandatory course enrollment activity, honestly, pause the video and go do it right now and then watch the rest of it. I am not on campus. Let's see, if I ever reuse this video, you guys, this is the semester of COVID. So this is 2020 fall semester, and it's our first purely virtual semester. I'm not on campus unless you need me to be, and I hope you don't need me to be because I really don't want to risk exposure to this virus, but I'm not terribly scared. So if you needed something, we would wear masks and we would meet. It would be fine, but I will mostly be available via email, so please send me an email. If you send me an email and you do not get a response within 2 days, check the email that you sent it to. So many people misspell my last name. A lot of people think that my name is Ashburn, but it is not. It is Osburn. So my email is lausburn@mitchellcc.edu. I will try to respond within 24 hours. I'm usually even quicker than that, but on the weekends, you might not hear from me until Monday, so just be mindful of that. If assignments are due on Sunday and you have a question, try to get it in by Thursday. You can call my office, but I'm never going to answer that phone number unless we just have this rare sync of I was in there and you called me. I am supposed to check my office voicemail, but I'm probably not going to do that, so just send me an email. My office is in Statesville. I am available by appointment virtually all the time. Just send me an email to set up a meeting and I will send you a link to meet me. Skipping all this stuff. Skipping. So here are some recommendations for being successful in the course. Just try to be positive about these assignments. You know, who loves schoolwork? I don't know. Some people. I did, I guess. Check the course schedule weekly. Log into the LMS frequently. Log in on Mondays, log in on Wednesdays, log in on Fridays, log in on Sundays. Just like log in. I will have everything posted for the week by Monday. So it's not like there's ever going to be a surprise. But if you're never in the LMS, you're probably not really engaging with the class. So I will maybe post announcements. By the way, you guys, currently, announcements are being sent to your quarantine spam folder for some reason. I don't know why that is. I'm hoping that IT is going to solve that issue, but I do use announcements periodically in the course and they get emailed to you. So if you ever see a quarantine message from Microsoft, you can look at without having to click on anything, you can look at the messages, and if you see one from my email account, please read it because it probably is just an announcement from the LMS that you shouldn't miss. Email me when you have questions to be successful. Communicate me if you're struggling. Communicate with me if you're struggling, with me if you're not struggling, if you just want to talk about a text or whatever. Do all the activities. This says whether or not they're formally graded. I don't think I really ask for anything that's not formally graded from you guys. But if you notice that, do it anyway. You need to use a computer in this class. Obviously, it's online, and you have to write papers. And yeah, problem-solving skills, I guess. Maybe if you have a problem. The text that we are using is the Norton Anthology of American Lit Volume 1, 9th edition. It looks like this. It's green. It's the shorter 9th edition. There's like trees on it and some people. It is probably cheaper if you find it on Amazon rather than purchasing it in the bookstore. There's an ISBN link here if you want it, and I think it takes you to Amazon. Yes, it does. You need access to a computer. You need to have Microsoft Word or some kind of computing software. Google Docs is fine. Pages is fine if you can convert your file to a PDF. Suggested materials is just the little Seagull handbook. You should, if you took English 111 or English 112 or both with us at Mitchell, then you probably already have this. I'm not necessarily going to ask you to read or reference from it. However, it's a great reference guide for MLA format. It is also has a section on writing about literature that could help you. So if you don't have it, you don't need it. But if you do have it, it could help you. Now, just to really make sure that I'm clear here, you need this green book. You need this green book that says American literature on it. You do not need the Seagull book. Now, some of you might be saying, well, wait a minute, Miss Osborne, this class is all about writings before 1865, and aren't all of those in the public domain? Betcha most of them are, and you're absolutely right. So then you might say, well, can't I just find them all on the internet, and do I actually need this textbook? That's really your call, you guys, because you're right. You can find all the readings online. So if you are dead broke and you cannot buy this book, then you'll probably be able to pass my class without it. However, some caveats. Our textbook has 2 introduction chapters that I will ask you to read that are associated with the quizzes, 2 quizzes which make up 10% of your grade. So if you never did them but you got great grades on everything else, you could have a B in the course. I think also one of the benefits of having the textbook is that some of the content that we are reading is confusing, and the textbook has footnotes to help you process that content a little bit better. That's, again, can you pass with a B without buying the textbook? Yes, I think you can. Can you not buy the textbook and borrow a copy from your friend in order to read the chapters? Yes, you can do that too. Wear masks if you see your friends and stay 6 feet away. So just throw the textbook at your friend. But, you know, will your life be just a little bit easier if you have a copy of the textbook? Yes. Just yes. I recommend that you buy it. It's the required text in the book. All right, I'm moving on. Blah, blah, blah. So what kind of grades am I going to be, what kind of assignments am I going to be grading this semester? Discussion boards every week. Free unit quizzes. You will have the entire unit to do those quizzes. The first unit is many weeks, and then the last 2 units are a little bit shorter. You will write an annotated bibliography. You will write 2 papers, and I want to see rough drafts for both of them. And that's it. 2 papers, an annotated bib, quizzes, and discussion boards. You will read a lot and you will write a lot in this class. And if you weren't expecting that, then you might want to get a different class, but not a lit class. All right, the grading scale has not changed. The only thing that is different now is just that if you get a D in this class, it's not going to get you credit on your program. You will just have a D. If you retake the course, the D will be replaced. Anything else, and obviously an F won't get you credit either. You can read through kind of like what I'll be asking you to do with these assignments if you want to read the syllabus. Some other things that I put in here, all assignments will be due on Sundays by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're living in California. I don't accept Google Drive links or OneDrive files because you can edit those after the fact, and that bothers me. If you submit the wrong file, I'm just going to give you a 0 if it's after the due date, because it could just be one of those situations where you've done that on purpose to get more time, and that bothers me too. So just make sure that you've submitted the right file. Just make sure that you have uploaded a file that's not corrupt. Just double check everything. I don't really have an issue with this ever, but I put it in here because I think I have in the past. Make sure you keep an electronic copy of everything that you do. First of all, if you're working on a discussion board and your power goes out and you lose what you've written, that sucks. I've been there. I can't do anything about it. So please make sure that you keep a copy of that while you're working on it. But also, even once you've submitted your work, especially your papers, you never know what's going to happen. Make sure you try to keep a backup of everything. But things could even be my fault. I don't think that happens, but it could. So keep a backup, because you don't ever want to have to rewrite something because of the internet, because of me, because of you. That's so frustrating. Like missed work, I don't know what the difference between missed work and late work is. So I don't really take missed work. Like, I guess that means, oh, I missed that discussion board. Can I turn it in? No. I also, the thing I find that happens even more is like the end of the semester plea. Can I please just do one more thing in this class to get a B or an A or whatever? Please don't do that to me. It really stresses me out, you guys. Like, I set the class up the way it is and everyone else did it. Okay. Stresses me out. Okay, late work. Look, late work is handled on an as-needed basis. If you need to turn something in late, just let me know beforehand and we can talk about it. You know, I think this policy has the opportunity to be abused, and if that starts happening even for just one student, I will not accept late work for anyone. But if you need some time on something and you're just like, look, my life has been a mess for the past week and I thought I was going to be able to get this discussion board turned in by this time, but I'm not. Can I have 2 extra days? Just send me an email. If you do that to me every week, I'm going to start saying no, but if you need me, I've got your back most of the time. I talked about assignment format already. Faculty feedback, 1 to 2 weeks for grading, probably a week for discussion boards, maybe 2, definitely 2 weeks on papers except for the last one because it'll be due and then grades will be due. Probably a week and a half for the annotated bibliography. Regarding emails, I will reply to you as soon as I get your email, no later than 24 hours unless some kind of emergency is going on my end, and not the weekends. Maybe the weekends, but probably not. The other thing I think is just regarding feedback on discussion boards. I participate in the discussion boards on a limited basis, so sometimes I'll log in on like Tuesday or Wednesday and see what's going on, and I'll reply. A lot of the times though, what happens is most people don't get into the discussion board till Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and at that point it's the weekend and I'm not going to respond. So most of the time what will happen is you'll get your feedback after you've submitted. You'll engage in the discussion with your peers, but I will engage with your discussions after the fact. There's no real other good way to do it except for to force you to post something by Tuesday and then go back on Thursday, and that's just stressful. So if you have a question about something, email me. Attendance expectations has changed. I wish that I could just like hold up a giant banner. Mitchell is now an attendance-taking institution. Last year, and all the previous years, well, not all of them, but for many of the previous years, we have not taken attendance. So it didn't matter if you went to class. You might fail anyway because you're not learning, but it didn't really matter attendance-wise as long as you did the work and you turned it in, and etc. Now, attendance is a thing. We are taking attendance again, which many of us are very happy about. So what does that mean in an online class? Attendance is calculated in my class per the English department's policy. Attendance is calculated based on a weekly engagement with the course. And I guess that's my umbrella term for all of the ways in which you could get accounted for attendance. So you can do an assignment. That means every week I have a discussion board. If you do your discussion board every week, you have attended class every week, and you're never going to have an issue with this attendance policy. You could participate in a synchronous class activity. However, we don't have those in this class, so skip that one. You could participate in a class discussion or some other posted assignment like a quiz. You could have a conference with me. So if you emailed me and you said, I would like to meet virtually on Friday. You didn't do anything else in the LMS that week, but you met with me on Friday. Fine. That counts as attendance. That's my interpretation of conference at the very least. So all that means is just every week I'm going to have something that's going to be able to gauge your attendance, and if you do all of your work, you're going to be fine. Here's the thing. If you do not attend class for 2 weeks in a row, even if you do something in week 3 and I like catch it on Monday or something, 2 weeks in a row counts non-attendance. So if you haven't turned something in the span of 14 days, then I'll drop you from the class. This is new. We'll see how it goes. You'll be a no-show if you don't complete the mandatory enrollment activity by the 27th. Here's that info on me dropping you from the class, by the way. I don't know why it's all the way down there. You can always withdraw if this class isn't working for you. You have until a certain date. It's the 75% point, but it's on the academic calendar. I'm skipping all this stuff, y'all. I just want to get down to plagiarism. Okay, so plagiarism. What is plagiarism? What is my definition of plagiarism? I mean, you guys know that plagiarism is copying someone else's work without giving credit. In literature, plagiarism is also Googling an idea and then writing about it on your own without actually coming up with that idea by yourself, and then not giving credit to the original idea. So if someone else took this class and wrote a very similar paper and you need it, that's plagiarism. If you copy and paste a paragraph into a paper you wrote, but there's a paragraph in there that's not yours, that's plagiarism. As long as you are quoting and citing anything you use that's not your brain and that's not common knowledge, then you're fine. The other caveat to that, though, is self-plagiarism. So if you took a similar class to this in high school or at a previous institution and you have a paper that you wrote, you can't submit it in my class. The reason is because of double dipping purposes. So like, you got credit for the high school class because you wrote that paper. Now, how are you going to get credit for my class? Not with your high school paper. Not with the paper that you wrote for someone else's class that you got credit for. If you took this class with someone else and you wrote papers and you didn't pass, then email me and we could talk about that. But if you got credit for a class where you submitted papers, those papers cannot come into my class. That's self-plagiarism. It bothers me. So it's really hard to prove, but it bothers me. Accessibility, you can read about that if you need it. Tentative schedule. This is the tentative schedule. The one I emailed to you guys before the semester started, I changed it just a teensy bit, like the syllabus schedule. I changed it just a little bit, but I might do that in the future. However, I'm pretty set on these texts. So if you start reading ahead, it's okay. Just don't be mad if I make a change. Okay, I think that covers everything, and I'm below 20 minutes, which I'm alright with. So please, if you have any questions about the syllabus, let me know. I will absolutely explain, clarify, further anything that I've said in here. Just send me an email.